Welcome back to the John and Linetia show.
You gonna watch the Super Bowl on Sunday?
I am.
Who you rooting for?
49ers.
You rooting for the Niners?
Yeah.
I hate the Ravens.
I don't hate them, but something in my heart feels like they have destiny. You know what I mean?
The 49ers?
No.
The Ravens?
The Ravens. Like they're gonna win.
Destiny.
Yeah. I mean, because, a lot of the games leading up to this, it was like, what?
Yeah, well, I kind of feel like they almost, closely, maybe got lucky winning some games.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think they beat better teams, is what I think.
Yeah, but I'm still on the 49ers side. They got there last year, didn't win.
Well, they both the Ravens and the Niners lost in the championship games last year. Mm-hmm. So
I'm on their side.
We will see. I've never been a fan of the Ravens ever since they were moved from Cleveland to Baltimore. I always thought that was kind of a very crappy thing.
Okay.
Art Modell is probably looking up from his rightful place in hell, watching all the proceedings.
They let you watch that in hell?
I think so. I think the thing is that in hell they let you watch the Super Bowl, but you don't get to see the commercials.
Oh, that would be bad.
That would be hellish.
So to just have a blackout at that point?
Probably.
Until the game comes back on? That's cruel and unusual punishment.
Speaking of people going to hell, there's been a lot of talk about Ray Lewis. You don't think
that
he
was
is?
so unnecessary,
Oh,
John.
come
But go
on.
ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to let you go with your story.
Come on.
I'm going to let you go ahead with your story.
Lots of talking about Ray Lewis.
Now it's
because
lots of talk.
This is his last season.
Yes.
And it's a big, it's gotten oversaturated to the point. It's just, stop. And the other thing that really just kind of bugs me is this is a guy who skated on a murder charge. 2 people were killed by either him or 2 of his friends that he was with.
Allegedly.
Okay? No, the 2 people were killed, and he and his 2 friends were there. But nobody was ever convicted of the crime.
Right.
One, because Ray Lewis fled the scene and ditched his bloody clothes, so that was never recovered. And then, when he was finally, brought in for questioning and arrested and whatever, essentially charged with obstruction of justice, he made a deal with the prosecutors where he would testify against his friends. Okay, it's nice, testifying against your friends. He was going to testify against his friends, and that didn't, they still got off. I mean, they were not convicted.
All of them got off, correct.
Right, so they all got off. He made a deal. See, that's the thing, is a lot of people are like, oh, he was exonerated, or he was acquitted. No. Nobody ever had a chance of having charges against him, because he made a deal in which the only charge against him was going to be obstruction of justice.
Maybe it was just so much evidence, you know what I mean? Not saying that he did it, but there was so much evidence to make it seem like he did do it. So
yeah,
maybe
his 2 friends were acquitted because he was the one who went stabby on the 2 guys. Maybe. Allegedly. Who knows? Because in the end, 2 people were stabbed to death by one of 3 people that nobody went to jail for.
Did they ever find the weapon?
No, I don't believe so. Well, you know what? I'm not even sure, actually, about the weapon. I just know his bloody clothes. The clothes he wore mysteriously disappeared. Ooh,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know about the weapon. I would assume that maybe the weapon was.
Okay.
Okay. It was a knife anyway,
Okay.
And now Ray Lewis is this big old man of God. Now, granted, this happened, the pre-Super Bowl party in 2000. A long time, 12 years ago. So you murder somebody 12 years later, you should probably forget about it. Is that what you're saying?
That he did it.
No, but it was never proven that he didn't do it. Okay, so there.
So we can't say that he did.
No, but we can say that he might have. Yeah, he could have done it.
I'm not going to say
Probably did.
I'm not going to say
Probably,
that.
Since the other 2 guys were... See, that's the funny thing. There were 3 people that could possibly do it. 2 of them actually were found not guilty. Ray Lewis never went up on those charges. If 2 of them were not guilty out of the 3, what is the 3rd? Guilty.
Well, the evidence could have showed that it could have been a frame or something like that. You know what I mean?
There were only three possible
people. Make him take the fall for that.
Except that they were acquitted.
Okay.
You know?
Right,
Meantime, now it's like a big deal, like, oh, his life has changed. He's a man of God. 5 children, 4 different women. He's never been married. I'm sure God loves that.
You don't think he's changed?
You know what? I'm sure he's basically like, whew, I got off scot-free. Oh, I'm going to be careful and not stab people anymore.
I don't believe
I'm
that.
sure he's thinking that.
I don't think so. I don't think so, man. I think that he, even if he did do it, I'm pretty sure that he's made peace with it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
He's okay that he killed 2 people.
No, and he asked God for forgiveness.
And God's like, I don't mind that you killed. It's not like I have any rules, any 10 rules
yes, the
that
10
have...
Commandments say do not kill. But it doesn't mean that he did it. It doesn't mean that he did it.
I'm pretty sure he did.
We don't know that.
Allegedly.
We don't know that. You said pretty sure he did allegedly.
Well, I want to cover all my legal avenues here. Once again, there were 3 people who could possibly do it.
Okay, we don't have to go back this
2
over
of them
again.
are
Thank you.
innocent. Ooh,
Thanks.
what about that 3rd? I don't know.
But your issue is that there's too much hype around him. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, and this is the funny thing too, is because football is supposedly the ultimate team sport, and they got made a big deal about. Especially he comes, the defense, the team comes out of the locker room, and then he comes out and he does his goofy ass dance in the end zone, calling attention to himself. I mean, he's not being a team player. It's hilarious because he's supposed to be this big team leader, okay, and he's being a massive individual. Okay.
And they're letting him.
Well, sure, they're letting him because
him.
he might pull out a knife and stab them to death.
Oh, my God. No.
You got to be careful when you're around Ray Lewis.
It's hype for the team.
Yeah, but still. And then it's like, every little thing, he's crying during the Star-Spangled Banner. He's crying during this.
Okay.
You know what he's thinking when he's crying? He's like, thank God I was not convicted of those murders I perpetrated. Oh, what if I was still in jail? And yeah, that's what he's thinking.
I don't think he's thinking that.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
He's thinking of ways in which he could possibly smuggle a knife on the field to stab people.
I would doubt that too.
I don't know.
I would doubt that too.
Once you get that stabbing fever, you ever heard of that? You get stabbed. I think it's like cabin fever, but it's stabbing fever.
Or love and feeling.
Exactly.
Same thing.
I think Ray Lewis just. I mean,
look,
here's the thing. Great, he's retiring. He's going to get his own show. Or he's gonna get a job with ESPN.
Like they all do.
I think his segment on SportsCenter is going to be called The Murder Zone. I think.
Oh my God, that's not true.
I don't know. I think it is.
It's not true.
I think it is. I don't know.
It's not true.
They're making. Granted, he played a long time. He was good on the field, and violent, brutal people, are pretty good, in football.
Wow.
And I'm sure he would be looking at a tackler and just thinking, I'm going to stab you to death.
You are such a judgment person.
What?
You're making so many judgments.
Nobody went to jail for killing 2 people.
Because we don't know who did it.
1 of 3 people did it.
We don't know that for sure.
2 of them were proclaimed innocent.
We don't know that for sure. And that's between him and God. Anyway.
That's right. That's what I'm saying is that eventually he will be watching the Ravens right next to Art Modell.
Oh, boy.
Burning in an eternal pit of fire.
Doesn't mean he did it. It still doesn't mean he did it. He could be framed. He was... Yeah, sure. He was probably there.
It was OJ. That was what it was. It was
boy,
OJ.
Here we go.
It was OJ.
So anyway, your issue is that there's too much hype around him.
Oh yeah, I'm getting ready to throw up with all the Ray Lewis stuff.
Oh.
My hope is he comes out on the field, he does a little dance, and like pulls his hamstring so he can't play in the game. Also, that would be hilarious.
One of my friends said you shouldn't bring God into sports of any type.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, wow.
Right.
Okay. But didn't God create everything? Everything.
Yeah, but God doesn't care who wins the damn football game.
That's true, but there might be again some type of destiny.
You didn't hear Peyton Manning be like, we would have won the game, but Jesus made me throw that interception.
But we don't know what his relationship with God is. Maybe he doesn't want to mention that on the field.
So you're saying that anybody on the field that isn't into God is going to suck?
I'm not saying
They're
that.
They're going to lose?
I'm not saying that. I said that some people probably have different relationships with the Lord.
Right, but what I'm saying also is that, God doesn't guide you to do well on the field.
I don't believe that.
You think so?
I think God has a hand in everything, no matter what it is.
You think God is making bets in Vegas?
I didn't say that.
Well,
I said God has a hand in everything.
I mean, if he has a
God
hand in it.
God helps you to stay healthy. You know what I mean?
So is God going to help Ray Lewis have like 18 tackles? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
You're ridiculous. No, everyone has a relationship with God. I don't know what anybody else's relationship is with God. So they feel like they have to express it the way they want to express it, and that's that.
God better watch it because Ray Lewis has a knife behind his back. And might get stabbing.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my.
Allegedly.
Thanks for listening to the John and Linetia Show.